Before we get into the video, I want to talk to you guys about the OneFootball app, because for me it's the best football app there is on the planet. It's great for team news, transfer news, player statistics, league tables, all of that good stuff. So you can use the link in the description down below to get the app for free. And it's actually now even better than ever, because now you have full Serie A coverage once again for free. So that's league tables, but more importantly, game highlights. And also, once every game week, you can watch a match live, literally for free. Zero cost. The next one will be on the 1st of October after the international break, and it will be Empoli at home to AC Milan. A game that I'm really looking forward to watching, and you guys should be too. If you are interested, make sure to use the link in the description down below. I really do highly recommend it. Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today I want to talk about Manchester United, who, say it quietly, have been improving defensively. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Today I want to talk about why they are getting better defensively. Is it because of Ten Hag? Is it because of the signings? Is it a change in system? What is it? I want to talk about why Manchester United are improving defensively. Because I think the most biased fans, the harshest fans, any critics, you have to admit Manchester United have improved from a defensive point of view from those first two games of this season and probably from the past 3 seasons. And I'm sure you guys want me to talk about those 3 guys up on screen there alongside Tyrell Malacia. And of course I will come on to them. But this is about far more than just the back 4 or just the goalkeeper. This is a real team effort. Manchester United are improving their team defence, which was the most important thing that they needed to do, and it's why Ten Hag deserves a lot of credit. So I want to talk about some of the ways that they're doing that, and this video at times might be a little bit jumbled up, a little bit in the wrong order as I'm kind of talking through things, but just bear with me, alright? I'm getting there. So let's go to the tactics board and have a look. And right away, why are Manchester United improving defensively? Well, as with any real good team, any real top team, the defence starts at the front. It doesn't start with your centre-backs and your full-backs and your goalkeeper. It starts from the front with Marcus Rashford. And what we are seeing from Manchester United this season is they are better at pressing than what they have been in the past few seasons. Now, I'm not talking Jurgen Klopp, old school heavy metal football, Gegen pressing super high up the pitch. I'm just talking about smart pressing, where Rashford is quite simply just forcing centre-backs one way, and then we're seeing a sort of man-to-man system in the midfield. And instantly, that is improvement for Manchester United, and that probably sums up how bad it has been in recent years, because that is something so simple that I've just said there, but genuinely that is progress for this United team. Because what we've seen in the past is players either not pressing at all, perhaps Ronaldo up front a little bit, and then when players are pressing, they're making horrible decisions of when to press. Bruno Fernandes. Now, Fernandes is a player who you cannot doubt his work rate. You cannot doubt his heart, his mentality. He's there. He wants to do it. He doesn't always do it in the right way. And in the past few seasons, what we've often seen is, let's say our striker presses the number 4 on the ball here. Rashford presses him. The ball goes across. Bruno will then sprint out, go press him. And the fans will clap him and go, yeah, nice one, Bruno. You're pressing. You're showing some work rate. But actually, the centre-back just passed it to the 6. And now 4 Manchester United players are out of the game. See what I'm saying? It's not just about pressing like a headless chicken. You've got to do it with strategy. And that is what Manchester United are now doing. Bruno Fernandes is being much more reserved with the way that he is pressing. And actually, it's got to benefit him. He must be reserving some energy by doing this. And it's allowing him to follow this number 6. And Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen, as a result of this, are right up there as Manchester United's highest ground covered players. That's not a thing, but you know what I mean. And that right away is obviously helping Manchester United to defend. I am just going to quickly interrupt because we do have another sponsor for today's video, and that is JerseyFIFA.com, the website you need to head to right away to get yourself the latest and greatest football shirts, all at an extremely affordable price. The link will be in the description below, so head there right away to get yourself a great shirt, again at a great price. Now back to the video. The other thing is, one, that the wingers are pressing, but they are also happy to go the other way as well, particularly Antony. Now, Rashford and Sancho got some criticism last season, especially Rashford. I think Sancho's kind of the in-between a little bit. Antony is a very aggressive player, and I think that's one of the reasons Ten Hag wanted him. Yes, we talk about a lot about the width that he will provide on the ball. Antony is a very aggressive out of possession. He is used to Ten Hag's style of pressing high up the pitch, but also we're becoming quite used to seeing him dropping into these areas, all the way almost into a right wing-back position at times, to just win a throw-in. And the way he celebrates just winning a throw-in is great to see. It's a player that wants to defend. And I think overall that is one of the things that has massively helped this United team. There are now a few players in here who enjoy defending, who love defending and are really tenacious in the way that they approach it. I also think we have seen a completely revitalised Scott McTominay. Now, alongside Fred, that dreaded duo of McFred as we refer to it, you've got two players who kind of have similar weaknesses. Fred in particular, though, defensively, he is not very good at all. 1v1, he is awful. Like, let's say this number 8 has got the ball, I would bet my house on him getting past Fred. Fred just isn't very good in 1 versus 1 situations. He has other strengths, he's a good footballer, he cannot do these 1 versus 1 situations. And that's meant that for the past few seasons, Scott McTominay has kind of been doing the job of 2 players at times from a defensive point of view. Now we have Eriksen. Now Eriksen is not a player that we would associate with smart defending, but he is just a brilliant footballer and he will adapt to any system that you put him in. And we are seeing that now because he is massively helping Scott McTominay. That is easing the load on McTominay, who can then just focus on his role of a ball-winning midfielder. Do I think his positioning is the best in the world? No, I don't. I'll be honest. Do I think he's the best 1v1 defender in the world? No, but he's just a good ball-winning midfielder. He does disrupt the play, he's got good size, good physique, strength, all of that, and he's just a big player in the midfield. And you do need that at times, especially when Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes are your other midfielders. You do need that bit of muscle, that bit of weight to kind of get about the pitch, put the tackles in. McTominay is doing that very well. Now, I dare say eventually his performances might decrease a little bit back to kind of what we've seen in the past few seasons. If that happens, Casemiro is there waiting to come into the team, and I don't really need to talk about Casemiro. We know that he is incredible defensively. And then, of course, that brings us to the backline. We've got Rashford is pressing better than what we've seen in the past few seasons. We've got Bruno Fernandes and the other midfielders pressing with far more intelligence than what we've seen in the past few seasons. We've seen the wingers willing to press high but also track back more than the past few seasons. Lots of progress. And then we have the back four, where we have pretty much an entire new back four. Now, the past few seasons, up until probably February, we saw Luke Shaw, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, those two should be swapped, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the back four. And I think most people would argue that they're all actually reasonably good defenders in their own right. However, we are now seeing a different style of defender. Luke Shaw is a very talented footballer, but you cannot call him tenacious. He is not a player who really flies into tackles, covers a lot of ground, is aggressive in the way that he tackles. Tyrell Malacia is. And actually, for those that haven't seen him before joining United, we haven't seen the best of him yet from a defensive point of view. He looks like he's playing within himself a little bit. I think there's another level for Malacia to go into from a defensive point of view. And then you've got Lisandro Martinez, who, the guy that is too short to play in the Premier League. That guy. We've now got him at centre-back. And, again, tenacious. I quite like Harry Maguire. I think he's a good footballer that gets way more criticism than he deserves. But he's not very agile. He's not very quick. He's not particularly tenacious in the tackle. He's a bit standoffish. Lisandro Martinez is the opposite. He's quick, he's agile, strong in the tackle, and again, he's just a player that loves defending. He loves to get into the face of the opponent. And we're almost seeing an aggression about this back four, and a back four that just wants to defend. I don't know if it's just me, but I love seeing the celebrations when they win a tackle and put the ball out for a goal kick or a corner or whatever. I just love seeing that. Players that want to defend, that thrive on defending. And I think a lot of it comes thanks to Rafa Varane and his leadership and his experience at the back. And I think a lot of United's defensive structure depends on him. I think if he was to go out injured and Maguire was to come back into the team, I think United drop off. Rafa Varane needs to stay fit for this Manchester United team to continue defending well. At the moment, the structure is very good. They're not, like I said, they're not pressing insanely high. Rashford's just splitting the centre-backs, and then they're often kind of man-for-man in the middle. Sandro Martinez is often strong in a tackle whilst Varane covers, and the fullbacks are doing very well defensively. Quite simple what they're doing. This isn't revolutionising football. It's quite simple stuff, but it's simple stuff United haven't been doing for the past few seasons. And also, they are helped by the fact they are now different in possession. I won't necessarily use the word better because that is more down to opinion, but I think they are very different on the board than what they have been in the past. So, in the past few seasons, let's just quickly bring Fred back into the side for this. Sorry, Fred. United have often looked to play their way out from the back, and numerous teams have used Fred and Scott McTominay as the pressing trigger. And it's clear to see why. They're not very press resistant, especially Fred, who gets caught flat-footed on the ball. So you nick the ball here, and then the centre-backs are exposed, either against a solo striker or a front two, which has made it very difficult for Varane and Maguire, and then De Gea has become exposed. Now, what we've seen, apart from those first two games of the season, is United not taking that risk. If United don't think they can play out from the back, they don't try and force it, they just send it long. And even with someone like Christian Eriksen inside and Lisandro Martinez, who are very good at playing out from the back, not taking that risk, just send the ball long. And obviously as a result, United aren't constantly losing the ball in this area. If you think that Brentford game where United were trying to play their way out from the back, Eriksen must have lost the ball here countless times. And constantly United were just under pressure. We've seen it against Leicester in the past few seasons, Southampton in the past few seasons. We are now not seeing that from Manchester United. And as a result, they aren't losing the ball in these areas. And when you're doing that, your centre-backs are less exposed, they're doing less defending, which just makes life easier for everyone in the team. Also, just their possession shape in general is helping. We know the fullbacks are playing reasonably tucked in and also reasonably reserved. Now, I'm not going to call it a defensive setup because it isn't that. But if you think perhaps fullbacks that we've seen in the past few seasons, perhaps maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson at Liverpool, for example, we see them both playing extremely high and wide, especially 2 seasons ago. The United fullbacks aren't really doing that. They're often playing kind of tucked in positions where the main job is ball progression. And what this does mean is that if United lose possession, they have more players back to defend the counter-attack. Now again, if we rewind to seasons gone by, the fullbacks have been wider. McTominay and Fred have enjoyed losing the ball in here, and then bang, you win the ball in here and you are straight at the centre-backs. And Maguire is slow, Varane has been injured, and Lindelof is quite a passive defender, and it has led to a recipe for disaster at the back for Manchester United. But now that isn't the case. United are now much more secure in possession, and if they do lose the ball, then they are much more ready to lose the ball. Because of the fullbacks being in a much more tucked in position, they can defend the counter-attack much easier. Now, are there still weaknesses in this United defence? Yeah, Lisandro Martinez's height may well be an issue at times over the course of the season. I do think you can beat Tyrell Malacia in a 1-versus-1 situation, and at times McTominay will get caught on the ball. But this season, all I've been saying all along is it is all about progress, steps in the right direction, and that is what this Manchester United team are taking together from a defensive point of view. The attacking performances aren't quite there yet, but United are building a solid base. We've seen several clean sheets, and just in general, when you watch United, it always felt like they were going to concede before. Personally, I don't have that feeling at the moment. Will they still concede goals here and there? Yes, like I said, are there still weaknesses? Yes, but it is progress, and that is all we ask for. Progress. Manchester United are taking steps in the right direction from a defensive point of view, and then when you start keeping clean sheets, 1 goal is enough to win you the game. It's as simple as that. Football really is a simple game. Keep a clean sheet and score 1, you win. It's not complicated. So if United can keep building on these clean sheets, then I'm sure eventually the attack and in possession will start to click a little bit more, and United will look more convincing. At the moment, they're defending very, very well, and a lot of teams aren't really getting too much of a sniff against them, so Erik ten Hag deserves credit, as does his coaching staff and all of these players who are buying into his methods. So there's not really much more you can ask for. Do I think there can be upgrades in terms of in the transfer window? Absolutely, but that's something I'll talk about another day. In terms of this squad, this team, this manager, I think United are doing a very good job defensively. Not just these back players, but as a team. It's team defence from Manchester United, and hopefully it just keeps getting better and better. There you go. That's my little ramble on Manchester United's defence. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with the points I've been making? Do you think there are players in the squad that could come into the team to improve it further from a defensive point of view? Casemiro, perhaps? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.